Yes, people, welcome back to Unplugged, episode 4. We have Amy with me again on my left, and today we have a very, very special guest, Denham Audio.
Woo woo.
How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you, yeah. I'm very excited for today's episode, lots to talk about. Where have you come from today?
Just been chilling in Central, stand up Bloop Radio, but yeah, just been in London for the last couple of days, just chilling, making music.
Are you watching the game today?
I've got to go to studio after this to meet Silver Bumper. Actually, we've got to finish jumping up.
Silver Bumper. Cooking up some garage, or what's the vibe?
It's kind of I think it's a perfect mix of both of us, like breaksy garage number, but I don't know how much I can say because it's not my thing.
Is this
but
the first session, or?
No, we did a big session at the start of the year, and then I think one of the tracks has been signed, so we're like polishing it up and like finishing it off. So,
well, we'll move on to that in a moment, but definitely to start off the podcast, I'd love to hear about your early beginnings and kind of what inspired you to get into DJing, because I know you've been DJing and producing for time. Like, how did you start? Where was the inspiration?
It kind of started at university, I think. Like, I've always had like an interest in music, but I remember like I did game design at uni. So I remember on my first day of uni, like I walked into this room and there's like just a class full of nerds, and I was like,
one of them.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, who looks like the most normal person? And there was this guy called Nick at the back, so I just ended up sitting with him, and he was like a drum and bass DJ. So we got like chatting, and he was like making liquid drum and bass and stuff, and then that was like my gateway into learning how to DJ and make tunes, basically.
That's great, yeah, because we had Sir Hiss on a couple months ago now, and he was also big on the game design, and like some of the samples he uses in his work is from game design. Have you used any of that, or?
Yeah, well, I think something I didn't really realise until like the last few years is I've always been a big gamer. Like always had like PlayStation, PS1, PS2, PS3,
nice.
And like some of my favourite games like Wipeout, Ape Escape, they all got like jungle soundtracks to them.
Yeah.
And like didn't really realise at the time it's just game music, but when you look back at it now, you're like, fuck, this is just jungle.
Yeah.
And like hardcore and stuff, and it's just, or like GTA 3's got a moving shadow radio station and stuff like that. So it's like all these things that I didn't really know about, but it was just there. And I think that's sort of like subconsciously helped where I've gone to.
Because now your sound is like very much jungle breaks, but before you were like what was your early music you were producing?
Oh dear.
Was it like house?
Yeah, so when I was at uni, which was like 2012, it's going to date me a bit, I think, but
where were you at uni?
Sheffield,
nice.
Yeah. It was like peak. Well, it was just the start of like deep house, you know, like Disclosure was dropping like Running with Jessie Ware and all this, and it was just like a madness. And yeah, you just couldn't escape like house at the time, and it was just like found it quite fun to try and make it. And
what about drum and bass? Were you producing drum and bass? Because you said that.
I actually hated it.
Really?
I actually really hated drum and bass.
You just sat there like, I hate
it's
this.
just too quick for me. I'm like making 1-2-5 like house and stuff. I was like, this is insane.
I love that.
But yeah, it was just a bit of fun, and like it was everywhere. So that's, I think by doing that helped us get some shows where I was playing out locally, and then. But I always liked this sort of like UK based stuff. So I was playing house sets with like Benediction or whatever, and then I'm like swapping some Pale Man. I think like kind of just helped set you out against the other people.
Yeah, of course. Because at what point did you realise that shit, like I could probably do this for like a living? Like, what was the kind of the moment when you were like, I'm gonna do this?
Well, surprisingly, I've only actually been full-time music for like the last 3 months.
What?
No way.
Yeah.
What were you doing
That's
before?
insane.
I used to work for Rockstar video games, and then I worked for PlayStation before. So been a like games tester, compliance tester.
That's
cool.
insane.
So
You've been doing both at the same time?
yeah, literally, I've had a job since I was like 16. So like this is the first time I haven't had a 9 to 5, which is strange.
How did you find like balancing the two and fitting DJing and producing into it?
It definitely got like harder. Obviously, the more like opportunities that came about, but like I used to try when I was like first starting out. I tried to like force myself to do something in the evening, whether it's
Even if you're really tired.
Yeah, like just a couple of hours, like, you know, dig for some samples, find some tunes, you know, make some loops or whatever. Like try and just do something that like would just add benefit at some point. So then I think now the busier I got, like that kind of paid dividends, because it was like I have this sample library and this preset library and all these sounds that are just there to tap into.
Yeah.
So if I got like an hour or two, I can just like, right, everything's there to just dive into straight away. So I think like that helped a lot. And then just got busier with shows and stuff. And I was just like, had this like tour in like Australia and
Sounds
Asia.
Unbelievable. You've been away for ages, bro.
It's like 2 months, and I was just like, right, if I don't quit, I'm gonna quit my job, and just went on tour. And I was like, right, fuck it.
So that was the spark. It was like, right, I've got this opportunity to go see the other side of the world.
Yeah, I did want to stay, to be fair. Like I love games. Like I probably spend more time playing games
I'm
than
gonna
making
have to
music.
ask you, what is your favourite game soundtrack though?
Ape Escape.
Which one?
The first one, Ape
First
Escape.
one, Ape
Yeah,
Escape.
sick.
Sick tune.
But like, just it's all. I play more games than I do make music, to be fair. Like, but it's just like, if I don't do it now, I don't know when I would.
Are you
So it's
still gaming whilst you're on tour?
Not when I was away. Well, like 8 Ball pool on my phone or something, but not like
Gotta
proper.
get my fix.
Yeah, I had some like weird, this like color test tube thing. We have to like move all the colors
Oh,
across.
that comes up on ads sometimes.
Yeah, I got hooked into that for a bit on like a 14-hour flight. Like, I can do it, but I always had to do something.
Yeah.
Quite fidgety, I think.
So talk to us about the tour then. So where did you go, and like favourite place? Where was your favourite place to DJ on this tour?
So we did, I think it was 18 shows, 9 countries. We did China, Taiwan, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Australia, New Zealand.
Wow,
Whoa.
that is insane.
Hats off to you. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
congrats, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was unreal, like best experience I think I've ever had. Just, like living that life that you like kind of dream or aspire to, Obviously had its ups and downs, like living out of a bag has its pros and cons.
Of
but
course.
yeah, it was my favorite place, just Japan. Like, I love it anyway, but it was just, I haven't been for like 6-7 years, and like met with a bunch of people that I met last time, and like had this whole
DJs or?
so I played there like 6-7 years ago. It used to be a record shop called Disc Shop Zero, and played a few nights with them, and I met like a lot of the crew. And they'd booked us, some of them had booked us for this party, which was in the woods, in like this forest outside of Tokyo.
Oh my God.
And it's like, I can't really describe it as like a scout camp, because it's got like these huts and like canteen and like this bar and everything. But then it's got like this massive wooden structure that's got like a void sound system in it.
Wow.
And they just have raves there like in the day.
No way.
It starts at like midday or something, and it rolls through to like midday, and then they like pack up and
That's
leave.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's Tokyo, outside Tokyo.
Yeah,
What are
just
the
like
crowds like in Tokyo?
It's different, I
They're
think.
quite tame.
Yeah, in a way, like they don't listen to music. I don't think they consume music the same way that like typical club culture is here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of clubs will be like people waiting for drops, and everyone's like gun fingers and screams and woos or whatever. But they're like, they want to see a performance, so they'll watch you for an hour, and they'll just be like, they look like they're not even enjoying it, but they're just like
Really
concentrating
taking
and
it
they're taking it in. It's kind of like
yeah.
a meditative type thing for them, I think.
Wow.
So like it's quite interesting, because you're like, they want to see a performance, rather than I want to see some bangers or
And
whatever.
you're kind of thinking you're going to get a reaction for like each new song that's coming in, and they're just watching and it's like inspecting.
But then you'll speak to them afterwards and like, oh, I love that like new unit tune you played at like 3 minutes, and you're like, fuck, did
Wow.
I? Like, did I play that tune? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, like I love that tune. You're like, or like, I love that unreleased Tim Reaper tune. You're like, how the hell do you know? Like,
No way.
like, but they're like, and it's such a small pocket of community as well. So it's not like thousands of people or even hundreds of people, but they're like so invested in that culture that they're just, they know everything.
That's so
And
nice.
like, so it's like it's kind of a different type of rewarding feeling, and they like want to see you play the hour rather than see you play a banger. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Did you link up with any other producers? Get in the studio with other people?
We did
others?
with Stones Tarot when we was in Osaka.
Nice.
That was sick. Made
In
a couple
where?
tunes. Osaka.
Osaka.
That was good. Made a couple tunes, but to be honest, was just too busy eating and like drinking.
Yeah.
So like it was nice weather everywhere we went. So it was kind of like didn't want to stay inside too much.
Where was the best food?
So Japan, just because I love Japanese food.
Yeah.
But the most surprising would be Taiwan, I think.
Wow.
I had no expectations, and it was banging.
Wow.
Food culture was sick. Street food everywhere.
Yeah, I need to go. I haven't been actually to Asia at all. I would love to go out there.
No,
It
not
sounds
me.
amazing. So obviously, you've done Europe, Australia and Asia. What's coming next? What's the plans? Any plans to go to US or?
Not sure at the moment. I think
You're back in the UK for the moment.
I think I'm not planning on doing another big tour this year. I think
Okay.
that was my first experience. 2 months was a bit too long, so I don't think I'd do something that long again. But it was nice to have the opportunity, right? So like I didn't know if I would do it again. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it, whatever.
Have you ever played in the US?
I played in New York once unofficially, so I hope they don't hear this and like get me at the
Someone's
border.
gonna dig this up.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to find it.
Yeah, I played for a place called Good Room in Brooklyn. Did like all night long in the second room, and
wow.
I think they had like maybe like Marshall Jefferson or something in the like main room, and then we were just playing like garage and house and
No way.
breaks and everything in the second room, which was sick. Like all night long.
How do you feel about all-nighters, like doing all night long sets? Do you like them, or would you prefer to do something shorter?
I quite like all night long sets, just because like even just from the music I've made over the years, like I've like house music and like disco, and grew up in a Caribbean household, so like I like Motown, disco, dancehall, all that stuff. So
Wow.
like being able to showcase that in a long format would be quite cool, I think.
Mm. And what do you think about the whole culture? I mean, like obviously it is a lot of gun fingers and drops. Like, would you like experiencing the other side in Asia that people really appreciate those sets? What's your kind of thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, it has its place, right? I think wherever way you look at it, the like that gun finger like hype culture is like the social currency for a DJ, right? If you don't have those, as far as everyone else is concerned, you're not really killing it. So you got to have it's like the videos, right? And everyone's like, oh, everyone's on their phone, but like as a DJ, that's the best social currency you can have. If I play a show and I repost 50 videos the next day, everyone's like, fuck, that was a good show.
So true.
So like it's a catch-22. You want people to enjoy themselves, but if people don't take those videos, as far as everyone else is concerned, you didn't play a show that weekend, So like it's trying to find that balance, I think, but there's a place for all of it. Like some of the best clubs I've been to is just like dark rooms, everyone's just heads down, don't know any of the tunes that's being played, and it's just like Ben UFO all night or something like that,
Yeah, Ben UFO all night.
What's your next set? What's your next show?
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury. Next week?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm playing on the Thursday at the Sports Banger
Is that
Mega
your
Rave.
debut?
Yeah, first time.
Have you been there before though?
No.
You've never
so
just gone?
God, I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
everyone keeps scaring me about like how wild it's going to be, and I'm like, oh god. Like,
So are you playing at the start of the festival or at the end?
so I'm playing on the Thursday, playing the Mega Rave. I'm actually playing at something underground also that night. But then I'm playing in France on Saturday, so I'm actually only going Wednesday to Friday.
Oh no way.
And everyone's like, that might be enough for me, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
Yeah.
like camper either, so I'm just like minimize the amount of time in a tent and just make the most of it, I think, for
Have you
24
got
hours.
a big crew going with you?
So I'm gonna rock down with my manager, and then we're camping like all with the Sports Banger lot, so like they're all good friends and like crew anyway, so like yeah, it's just gonna be a big little melting pot of homies, I think.
How do you know the Sports Banger a lot? Like,
It's quite a like full circle thing, I think. Like, so I did something with Heraz, which is like their label that they run, like Close One, Johnny Banger. But like I used to listen to them all the time on like Swamp 81 shows,
wow.
and like used to always like send them. Like when I first signed that tune, I was like trying to find like an email from him.
Yeah.
And then I found like an email that I sent maybe in like 2018. He was like, "Hey man, are you accepting some demos or whatever?" And then like I sent him the screenshot, and then like here we are now. And yeah, they're super cool. Like they since I did that release, they like got me on the Boiler Room at Boomtown, and like done loads of parties with them. So like feel like they've sort of folded us into the crew, which is nice.
Yeah, talk to us about that Boiler Room, man. That was
amazing.
insane. Back to
Yeah.
back DJ.
It was
God.
it was
DJ F off.
I hadn't so that was the first time we met,
No way.
and she was running late as well, so we'd only met like 5 minutes before she arrived.
What? But you've played with her since now,
Yeah, so we played
right?
on the Cause on Saturday, actually, just
That
gone.
looked amazing. I saw some of those videos.
Yeah, see, there you go, videos.
Yeah, it's true.
But then, yeah, we're playing together at Glasgow, and then we're both playing together in France on the Saturday as well.
Wow.
So you met just before, for your first Boiler Room, you met your partner for the boiler room just before?
Yeah, literally 5 minutes before.
Oh my
And
God.
did you have like any communication with her before? Did you like produce?
Yeah,
stuff with her before?
so the tune that we released of Heraz has her on the vocals, and so we'd already spoken a few times, and we're friends, but we'd never met in person before.
So you never like had that chemistry on the decks before. It was all like on the day.
Yeah.
That was a sick set, bro. That was insane.
And it was just she's like, oh, I might play this tune. I was like, yeah, cool. I might play this tune. And like, but I mean, if she's listening, like, I didn't really listen to some of the tunes she was sending, because I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, it'll be fine. I think I can. Like, you take the lead, I'll just bounce off it. Like, I feel quite comfortable doing that. So yeah, it's just
so surprising you say that, because it did not seem like that at all. It's insane. Like, DJs have to come into these situations where they haven't DJ'd with their back-to-back partner. Like, it just seems crazy.
Well, same thing kind of happened this weekend. It's like we hadn't played together since that boiler room, so we're like, shit, everyone's going to be like expecting that level of hype again, and we hadn't even like shared tunes this time, so we just turned up and I was like, right, well, I guess we'll just wing it. And then, but then it was sick. Like, it was just bouncing off each other.
Did she know you were going to play Wasting Time?
No, so for that boiler room, because I just said I'm just going to play my own tunes. Like, do whatever you want, I don't mind. I'm just going to play my own tunes, because then I don't have to like think about swapping tunes out, or like, it just gave me a bit of structure of what I was doing. So then I made some tunes for that, so like Wasting Time with
Oh, you
Triple
made
Point.
it for the boiler room?
So I was trying to get that Wasting Time, because I had a feeling it might go down well.
And
I
did
got
indeed.
snapped up.
Smashed it.
Got snapped up not long after that clip went up, which was nice. And then that Don't Call Me Baby edit as well was like made for that.
So it got signed, did it?
Wasting Time, yeah.
Yeah. So what's that process like when you're a producer, like, and you're looking to get something signed? Like, how does that work? I know you've done stuff with Black Butter.
Yeah, it varies really. Like, when I was dealing with, let's say, more like underground labels, you send them a playlist, and I think my idea of what I would like to release, how I'd like to release, has changed over the years. But like, back then you'd do 3-4 tracks, maybe 5 tracks, might be on vinyl or something. I remember being like, oh, if my tune's not on vinyl, then I don't want to do it, sort of thing, which is a bit arrogant. But like, now I'd rather just have like one single that bangs, and like put a lot of effort into making sure that it bangs, and like, making sure there's content for it and all that stuff. And I think like that's quite a bit more of a better approach, I think, because like, you could spend months making like 5 tracks for an EP, and people just like one track, and it's like, well, may as well just release that on its own.
Yeah.
What's the quickest time it's taking you to make a track, and like, it's done, no more tweaks, like, that's it?
So the way I work really is I try and make things to about 90%, and then like I'll play them out or do whatever. And if someone signs it, then I might like finish it off. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I never really, like, when I export it, I'm like, cool, this is, as far as I'm concerned, it's done. But then if someone signs it, I'm like, oh, I'll go have a look, and I might refine it a bit. But
because I saw you put on your Instagram, it was like 4 days from studio to festival, and the GDS girls were playing it out. That's was it with Bullet Tooth?
Bullet Tooth, yeah. So we met up on the Wednesday or Tuesday a couple of weeks ago. Just had like a day, made a couple tunes, and then I was like, yeah, I think this has like got a bit of something to it actually. So like, we sent it to the Girls Don't Sink girls and a few others, and then like, yeah, they played it. But then this is the downside of it, right? It's like, I remember playing it a couple of weeks later in a club, and I was like, fuck, this needs a bit more of a boost in the low end. So like, had to tweak it afterwards. But yeah, that's the quickest like turnaround of
4 days.
Yeah.
How much is that of that going on as a producer, like testing tracks and like then jumping back in the studio and like boosting the low end, as you said? Like, how much of the testing process is there with these tracks?
Definitely varies. I think for me as well, because I've been like quite transient in my studio stuff. Like, I go to Bullet Tooth studio, or I go to Pirate, or like work at home, or I work at home with my headphones. Like, there's always these different variations in like how you're hearing it, I guess. So like, it's always good to hear it in the environment it's intended for, because then you'd be like, oh yeah, this needs more or less, or stuff like that. But yeah, I think you have to kind of hear it in that environment to truly know what it needs.
And like, in today's age society, as a DJ producer, like, content, as you were saying, has become like so important, whether it's people taking videos or whether as a DJ producer you're creating your own content to get onto Reels, TikTok. Like, what's your approach or opinion on that at the moment?
I hate that it's like it's such a necessity. You know, like it's like this weekend, it's like we played at the Cause. It's like, oh, better get a videographer. And it's like, so that's money, and then they take the videos and they turn it around, and then you're like, right, I need to think of a caption. And you think of a caption, and you're like, what order do I need to put these videos in? And like, you spend hours just doing this post, and then it's like, oh, the reach is shit. And you're like, oh. It's
demoralising.
So I just spent hours doing this, like X amount of money down the drain, and it has like, it doesn't even, like 1% of your followers don't even see it. And you're like, what is the point? Because I don't want to do it to begin with. So it's just like, it feels like you just, like I'd probably get more views on a video if I just burnt money. It'd probably be better promotion if I was just burning money and then like, here's my show, come to it, do you know?
It's true, you got to think outside the box. Maybe that's the winner.
Yeah.
But then I guess you've got like enough promo in itself of like other people playing your tracks. Like when Lala played your track with Balamii.
Yeah, the Make Me. Yeah.
That mix mag, was just like, that took it to new levels, didn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know how much of that the story of that song you know, but like, so it's 6 years old.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's 6 years old. Yeah, re-released a couple times.
Yeah, so me and Bora made that tune as part of, originally it was meant to be part of an EP. Then we ended up making like essentially an album, which we then didn't want to send to labels, so we ended up making our own fake label called Club Glow, and we self-released it, and then. Got a bit of wind with like Peach and a few other people were playing it, and then it had like it's a nice moment which I'd never experienced before, which is nice. Like everyone's like, oh, what's this tune? You know, like ID group in Facebook.
Yeah.
They don't know what this tune is, blah blah. And so that was like the first experience, and then
when was that?
2018 maybe.
2018.
Yeah, and then that kind of fizzled out. And then randomly, so for years we were trying to get Annie Mac to like send it to her, and like just had no like luck with it at all. And then she had this guy called Kolsch on her radio station, did a guest mix, and he played it. Just by luck that he played it, and then she then played it for like 10 weeks in a row.
No way.
Our radio was just like, oh.
How did you know that Annie Mac would take to the track?
I just think like, you know when you just know some like. Because I've been to like I used to see Annie Mac all the time at uni, like listen to the radio show, like it's where you'd consume until you get really into digging for new tunes. Like I think it's quite easy to find new music now, but like even 5-10 years ago, like that was your gateway into like underground music, I guess. So like it kind of just felt like the sort of track she would like,
and you were bang on.
Yeah, and I was just, but like, can you imagine if she'd like, ever looked at like her emails and it's just like there from 6 years ago?
Maybe let's get Annie to look at it now and let's see that. Maybe you said Sports Bang. I saw that first email from you.
Yeah,
let's pull up Annie Mac's inbox.
But that's it. I just think like you gotta like there's a element of luck to all of this, right? Like, is the right person at the right time can make someone see something that you know they would like, but they just have to find it in their own way, I guess. But yeah, then after that I kind of fizzled out again, and then everyone was asking us to put it on Spotify, so we did, and then it hit like 1 million plays, which was quite crazy.
As Club Glow?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is before like all the new stuff, and then on the day that it hit 1 million, literally within like a half an hour we got a cease and desist from Sony to take it down.
No way.
And they like scrubbed it off the internet, so like you couldn't see it on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, anything is like gone.
Oh my god.
Did you get paid for the streams? Okay.
I don't know, is there videos here? No, so we had like on Spotify, so we was getting like a monthly thing, and it was like registered to PRS, so we was getting paid the PRS, and then got the cease and desist through. And then they were like, oh yeah, so all that money that you've been paid for PRS, I think we should take that back. And we were just like, okay. And it's like,
no way.
You know, just like took it on the chin, you know, it is what it is. Because we hadn't cleared the sample, so, you know, we just got a slap on the wrist compared to what you could have happened, I think. But then that was it. I was like, right, cool. This is the end of the track now. Like I made my piece, you know, gone out with a bang type thing.
That was like your most streamed track?
Yeah, by a long shot. And then just kind of like went about my day, and I wasn't on TikTok, so there was just this evening where like I got messaged by like an A&R, and I was like, this guy works for like Sony or Columbia or Ministry of Sound. And then Borai's like, has this guy messaged you? And I was like, yeah. And then like we're just getting loads of messages from people, and I was like, who are these people?
So you didn't know what was going on?
None of us had a clue.
No way.
And then it was just like, oh, apparently this track's going viral on TikTok. So I was like downloading TikTok, making an account, and then like trying to scroll, like trying to find this video. And then it was the clip of Lala. And I was like, wow. And then went through the process to where it is now, really.
So what happened then? So Lala plays it, it blows up. Talk me through like what happened after that viral moment.
Went through. So I ended up getting my now managers to help us. I've been friends with them for a while, to like help us with the process, because they work with Prosper and like major label stuff. So they were like, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, basically. So they kind of helped us through it, and we just had meetings with people and was listening to all these labels like pitch about what they would do, and like we'll do this and that, and you're like, and it's all kind of the same, you know, like they're all in the same world. They're not going to offer much difference, but yeah, Room 2 seemed to be the one that was like the thing that swung it for me. I think for them was we had a meeting with them, and I was like, you know, it could be the one. And then we met with Black Butter, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. And then they like Room 2 like scrambled within like half an hour to get like a whole team together with a presentation, like pitched us another meeting. I was like, all right, these guys want it. So I was like, oh, let's work with these guys. And it was unreal, really. Like, got it on like Radio 1 playlisting, and I've got a silver plaque. So it's sold like, so yeah, well, it's coming in the post, but it's like got a silver plaque for how many sales it made, and it's just in the charts as well, which is crazy.
That is crazy. Did you have to like pinch yourself kind of like to realise?
Yeah, I think like, because we always went into this stuff with Room 2 being like, whatever they do, they have to do what we can't do, right? So like we've managed to get it to Annie Mac, we've had all this radio play, like they have to take it to a point that we could never do. Otherwise we're just kind of flogging a dead horse a bit, you know.
That's a good point.
So yeah, and they delivered, you know, they got it popping, and
you got the silver plaque.
That's it. Like I didn't think ever in my wildest dreams I'd have a silver plaque or like a tune in the charts or something, you know. So
because did they have to clear the sample then?
Yeah, so they cleared the sample. So everything's like by the book now, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's quite a interesting process, just like
cemented in history.
Yeah, it's just, you know, something that started out just no one wanted to sign the tune, so we released it ourselves, and then to the charts basically. What
would be like your next dream? Like what's something that you're aspiring to achieve now?
I think
as
like
a DJ or a producer.
I think at the moment my main focus is just to be making as much music as possible that people are playing out. Like I don't really want to be like chasing chart hits. I don't want to like stay an underground DJ, you know, like I want to walk that sort of fine line in the middle, and just have fun while I do it as well.
Yeah, sure.
So just trying to make fun music and work with fun people and just see what comes of it, you know, like everything that's happened so far hasn't been premeditated, you know, it's all been like luck or, you know, the right time sort of thing. So it's just kind of keeping that going, and now that I have a bit more of a team around me with managers and stuff, it's like easier to just sort of focus on the music now. And
how did you like get your team together? Like who was the first person like on your team? Like how long have you had your manager for?
So managers I've been with, so there's two of them, Aaron and Kieran. So I've known them for years because they're like we're good friends with like Prosper and a few other things. So, like we've known them for like just as friends anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just again like a luck thing that I was talking to them about maybe doing like management stuff with them. So let's say it's December 22. I was like, yeah, maybe we should like look at working together in the new year, and then like the Make Me stuff happened. So it was like, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a nice trial for both of us, I guess, to see like how they work for me, how I work for them, and then we've just been together since, basically.
Did you have a manager before that?
No, so this is my first like foray into it, I guess. Like I felt I was getting to a point where I needed someone to like, again, open some doors that I couldn't open myself, or like put me in a room with people that I couldn't access myself. So like, that was kind of the aspiration I was getting at. And then now, yeah, it just happened at the right time, really. Like wanted to maybe get into these like major label things, and then yeah, just stroke of luck, all sort of timed at the same time and just worked out well.
That's amazing.
And what are managers like in terms of like putting you in the room with like other DJs and stuff? Like I know you have a lot of friends in music already. You mentioned you've seen Silver Bumper, later. I know you're quite friendly with Interplanetary Criminal and those boys. Was it the management helping you with that, or is this mainly your journey?
I think
meeting people.
I think we've got a good balance of like both of us doing it. So like I was with Kimmy yesterday. We made like works on a tune, which we organised between us. But then they'll have like, they might get an email saying, oh, X is in the country for a bit. Do you have any artists that you'd think would be working with them? And they'll send me through and I'll listen to some tracks and I'll be like, yeah, I could kind of work with them, or I think I could like hear it. So they always suggest stuff, but there's never any pressure to like do it, which is quite nice. But I'm usually quite open just to working with whoever and just trying to make something interesting, I think.
And tell us a bit more about like your friendship with Interplanetary Criminal and is it Main Phase as well? I know you've done a B4B and Brum, and then you've done the Balamii. Both of those were sick.
So yeah, I've known them boys for years. Like I think we really became good friends during COVID, because like we had two things. So like there was me, IPC and DJ Cosworth. We were playing Warzone like every night.
No way.
Literally every night. Like we'd start. I was working for PlayStation at the time, and but I was still working during lockdown. So I'd work this shift till like 6 or something. I'd order some food. We'd all be in a WhatsApp group and be like, right, let's order food. And everyone's ordering food. And then like we're on the PlayStation, we like got mics up, and like we're just playing Warzone for like 8 hours straight.
No
And then
way.
we'd be in the lobby and be like, right, let's order some dessert or something. Like, yeah, fancy like cookies or something, you know, like milkshakes or whatever. So like we'd be playing for ages, and then was like, oh, delivery's here. And like someone would dip off and like get their food, and everyone's just munching while we're in this like COD lobby, and then we'll just go back to playing like Warzone trios or something.
No way. Your gamer tags, DJ Cosworth.
They were for a bit, but then we started getting a bit toxic in the chats, so we changed them so no one knew who we were.
No way. People giving toxic.
No, we were being a bit like
bullying little kids.
Yeah. Just giving people grief, you know.
Oh my days.
I was like, probably change that to something random.
Who's your favourite person to do a back-to-back with? Favourite DJ?
Ooh, there's a few different ones. Like obviously DJ F-Off she's just got a great energy. Like I think we work well together. For the 2 times we played, it's like it's never been rehearsed. I think we've got a nice balance of like the fun stuff she plays, the fun stuff I play, but like some headsy stuff that kind of brings it all together. I like playing with her. She's got like a lot of energy and passion, which is good. But yeah, like doing like an extended back-to-back with like Zach and Main Phase and Cozzy was just like great time in lockdown. I think they did like their Balamii show. So the Balamii show you mentioned was like at my house. They'd all
at your house?
So they came to like play a show in Chefs. It was like him, Cosworth, Main Phase. I think Yanis was there as well. And they were like, can we come record our mix? I was like, yeah. So we like just played back to back for 2 hours. And funny enough, he was like, oh, I'm going to play with my new tune. And it was Boater. And he was like, so if you listen to at the end of the mix, he's like, yeah, this is going to be TikTok sound of the summer. And we're like, shut up, mate. Like, no, it's not.
No way.
Rest is history, isn't it?
So he spoke it into existence.
He manifested it on that show.
It's mad, like on the other side, like doing podcasting and stuff in music, and you hear these stories, like the way you did it with Annie Mac, manifesting that track into existence. Like he's done the same thing there. It's like so much self-belief, I guess, is required in this industry.
But I think
as
like
a DJ producer, I
think you have to, because you know it's quite a competitive industry, right? Like everyone's fighting for that bit of attention span from all these followers. Like everyone's posting the same sort of clips and content, and yeah, you've got to. It can be quite disheartening, right? If you're putting all this effort into it and not engaging with people, or you're not getting the responses you want. So like you've got to have that self-belief that you're doing the right thing and you're doing something you want to do, because otherwise it can be quite a tough job. I think it's quite lonely. You know, you're traveling around a lot on your own, or like, you know, go to Australia. Luckily I was with Manifesto, so that was sick. But like some people do these tours on their own. Yeah. And it's like, you know, you're at the mercy of these promoters that you've never met before, and in cities that you've never been to before, countries, etc. So like, I think you've got to have that like self-belief that it's all like leading to something, or something that you're passionate about, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it's lonely, but you've obviously still part of Club Glow. have to shout out that ring from Johnny Hoxton, and that ring is absolutely sick. Talk to us a bit about Club Glow and like Manifesto. Who is it? Manifesto, Almeja,
and Borai, yeah.
Borai.
So yeah, it started just as an outlet, really. Like me, Borai, Almeja, Manifesto were in like some Facebook group back in the day, which was like UK based producers or something like that, and we were kind of, all four of us sort of gravitated towards each other because we were all making breakbeat influenced stuff, and then we were all having similar issues, like no one wants to sign our music, no one wants to release the music, no one's playing it. So when we did Club Glow Volume 1 with Make Me and a few other tracks, Manifesto does like graphic design, so he did all the artwork for it, which was nice. Almeja did the mastering for it. So like we kind of, even
Perfect
from
mix.
the first, so even from like the first inception of it, we were all involved from the get-go. And then the second tape was Almeja and Manifesto, and then we just kind of accidentally fell into this collective, I guess, of like both tapes did really well and people were sort of taking notice of it, and then the next thing was we weren't getting booked for shows, so we started doing our own shows together, and like
just makes sense, made so much sense.
Yeah, we ended up being like label, radio show, promoters, like everything. Yeah, basically. Wow. But we was trying to do it all ourselves, you know, like we'll generate this list of people to send our tunes to, or we'll pack the records and send them out to people and stuff, and just tried to keep as much control of it, because all these labels that we tried to work with will either like, we don't like this track, take it out, or we don't want this, or change this, that and the other, or whatever, you know, all these things. So it was just a way to like release our music how we wanted, when we wanted, where we wanted, and keeping it DIY and just us, basically.
That's amazing. Right, we'll have to move on to some quick fire questions to end with, and we'll go one each, shall we, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Starting off with, what is one track every DJ needs to have on their USB?
There's an edit of a track called Real by Manifesto. I can't remember who the artist is, but it's incredible. He made it when we were away, and I was jealous because he kept playing it while I couldn't play it while we was away. And I was like, yeah, this tune's sick. It's
unreleased?
Like, yeah, I don't know what he's going to do with it, but it's like hard groovy but breaksy, and like it's got this most euphoric like breakdown. It's sick. But yeah, it'll go to his head a bit, but it's a sick tune.
What's your go-to closing track?
For a while it was the Breaker remix of Make Me, but I've kind of tried to move away from that now.
Was that what you closed the boiler room with Boomtown?
Yeah. No, sorry, that was the Manifesto one.
That was the Manifesto.
Yeah, that's sick. But then they released it, so I was like, I need the special dubs.
Dubs,
yeah. No one has.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favourite clothing brand at the minute?
Clothing brand? Quite like CP.
CP, yeah. With the puffers, you got the puffer?
I ain't got a puffer.
I know IPC's got that nice.
Yeah, I got like a nice like pistachio green like lightweight jacket. It's quite nice.
Nice.
Out of all the DJs you know, who's partying the hardest? Who's going front left?
Damn, that's a good question. Everyone's quite chill nowadays. I think I'm gonna say Zach, because I feel like he's just out and about all the time, so he's probably got a little bit of party in him.
Interplanetary Criminal was the party starter or not?
He's can be trouble sometimes. Yeah. Actually, no, I'm gonna say DJ Cosworth. Actually, he's a party star. He's a party animal. Yeah.
You three on Warzone, I literally can't imagine. I can imagine it right now.
Just going in on little
Yeah, search and destroy, just shouting at people.
Who's been your favourite DJ you've ever seen?
Joe Robertson, I think.
Recently?
So I went to the Hydra years ago, and it was him and Ben UFO back to back all night for like 8 hours or something stupid. And like I was there from like 10.
Bass heavy.
Listening to them. Well, they started off like playing spoken word and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, man, I get it. Like, this is sick. I was like, just stroking my beard and like looking at it. But yeah, that was just unreal. Like, that's where I'd locked in for the whole 8 hours, just didn't move. Was just listening to what it was. Didn't know any tracks really, but it was just sick.
Are those two producers, well, DJ and producers, that you really look up to?
Yeah, I think they're like quite a big part of like the musical journey for me, I guess. Like Denham Audio is because I lived on Denham Road with, there used to be 3 of us, which was John and Emilio. So we just started off as a piss take of Hessel Audio because we lived on Denham Road.
No way.
So that was the joke really, and then it just kind of stuck. So
that's insane.
And what are the other 2 doing now?
So John is Groovy D. He's actually his wedding this weekend, so he's getting married.
Congrats,
shout out. And then Emilio kind of is just doing his own thing really. He's not really doing music anymore. You know, people grow old, people move on.
How come you got to take the name?
I think just by like during lockdown when we weren't doing gigs or shows and stuff, I think everyone's priorities sort of shifted a bit, and John, like Groovy, was always making like housey, bubbly, like musical stuff. So that was a good time to launch a new alias, I think. So there's no pressure to get gigs, there's no pressure to do shows or anything like that. So it just sort of worked, and then he could take control of it. And I think because over the years I've always been like the networking guy or the people that do the emails and stuff. Like I think most people knew me as Denham anyway. So then he had that he could just take control of and do it how he wants to do it, and like build it how he wants to build it, which is sick.
What's the first festival you ever went to?
Creamfields.
No way.
Did you enjoy it? How old were you?
18, I think.
House. Was it Housey?
Oh yeah, like Tiesto and Swedish House Mafia, yeah.
Have you played at Creamfields?
No.
No.
I would like to be fair. Just for like old time's sake.
Yeah. What is your favourite UK festival?
Boomtown.
Boomtown,
yeah, it's unreal.
It is. It's a different world. This
is my 3rd year in a row I'm going this year. Oh, it's unreal.
What stages have you played at Boomtown? Well, I guess they changed the names, don't they?
Yeah, so I think I'm playing at the Forest again this year, but played the Forest, the Hidden Woods last year, and then the year before was Megapolis or something like that.
One of the big ones.
Yeah, like the big. If you go into like the bowl, it was like the big blue one on this side. I think.
Oh, Relic.
It was called like Mega something, I think.
Oh.
It is a different world.
Yeah, it's my favourite though. I love it.
Festival or underground club?
Club. I'm not a camper really.
What about glamping? Did you get behind glamping?
Ooh, yeah, I could back like a teepee or like
like with a little small bed.
Yeah. I'm definitely a home comforts kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I think underground club. Yeah.
USB or vinyl?
USB, because that's just what I play on.
If you could only play one genre, what would it be?
I guess that's a horrible question because I love playing so much different stuff. But breakbeat infused dance music is what I'm going to say.
Very political.
Yeah.
Naomi said that one. What's one genre of music you want to see get played out more?
I kind of miss like the real subby like DMZ dubstep. Like I feel like 140's coming. Yeah, because I feel like dubstep's coming back a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like that yet. And like just the idea of just dark room sub.
When it like hits you in the chest.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Just I want more of that.
What's the most surreal moment that you've had as a DJ or producer?
There's many of them. Like, what's quite a surreal thing is, so one of the first ever underground tunes I heard was Dusky Flow Jam, and I, over the years, like loved their music, did like a remix of it like not long ago, and then we made a tune together which was that Everything I Do, and then we played Boomtown. I played Boomtown, and I ended up playing back to back with B-Trace, who's like a big fan of her. And I was kind of telling her the story of this, and it then turned out it was her radio show that I'd heard it on, like that. Because I remember I was just walking, and it was like I just heard it on the shop. And remember like on Twitter, you used to have those like now playing on Radio 1 like, bot things. Yeah. So I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, Dusky Flow Jam. And then that was kind of like how I stumbled into that sort of thing. And it just, we were talking about it. She's like, yeah, I think that was probably my show. And I was like, damn.
That's such a nice like full circle moment.
Yeah, fully. So like it's just stuff like that, just all these full circle things just keep happening, and it just makes things like, makes you know you're on the right path, I think.
I think that's a nice way to end it.
Amazing. It's been so insightful. It's been so good to have you on, mate.
Thank you for having me.
On.
Amazing.
Thank you.